So, let's take you through the sixth and final Senior Rotax Heat. Groups B versus C. Let's take you through the starting grid, folks. It's going to be a cracker. Lewis Gilbert and Zsombor Kovacs on the front row. And it's the two Hunter brothers on row 2. Oh, here we go. It's Kai on the inside of row 2 and brother Reese on the outside. Brandon Carr and Raphael Renhofer line up on row 3. Jaden Thien and Matthew Higgins, row 4. Jan Bouvier and Mads Rees rounding out the top 10. Jens van der Heijden, André Petrovic, Aditya Kulkarni, Gustav Jonsson, Ralf van der Pevert, Jamie Perrelli, Ian Hesmans, Maximilian Schreier, Mats-Johan Overhoff, Patrick Scholhammer Rasmussen, and that's a very long Danish name to conclude the top 20. Yanni Niemi, Teddy Clinton, Arnold Domingo, Henry Beaumont, Matthias Krohn, Samuel Ifrid, Daniel Mualem, Igor Kichin, and then we've also got Curtis Latimer and Matteo Richter rounding out the 30-strong grid. So, Sean Butcher at the moment provisionally has 2 wins and a 3rd place. Kai Hunter, can he do 3 for 3? But when you look at some of the drivers we have on here, Lewis Gilbert has been consistently in the top 2, finishing behind one Kai Hunter. Mads Rees could throw a spanner in the works, but he starts from 10th position. But that's never stopped him before, has it? 10 minutes on the timer, plus 1 additional lap for race 22 out of 24. The driver's now slowing to a crawl as we get set to pry havoc and let slip the dogs of war here at the home of champions. Out of the final corner into the tram lines, the final Senior Rotax Heat is lights out and we are racing. Good start by Lewis Gilbert. Kai Hunter making his way up into 2nd position early doors. And Zsombor Kovacs has a massive moment, and up the inside, that was Jaden Thien. Kovacs went onto the runoff area, went sideways, and had to really hit the brakes. And we've had a massive moment backwards into the barriers. That was a Birrell ART. That was a big hit there. And that might have been the 860. I'm not 100% sure, but that was a big hit. Marshalling team is on the scene. Good thing is, driver is up out of the car, unassisted and walking away. I'm so glad to see that, but everything is starting to concertina. Looks like the 847 might have been involved. That was Samuel Ifrid on the Sodi kart chassis. And all I'm going to say is, try and keep up, because that's what we've all got to do right now, because leading the way, it is the pride of Scotland, Lewis Gilbert, leading Kai Hunter. If Kai Hunter finishes where he is right now, he will be, and he's gone for the lead. It's side by side, run wide from Hunter. Sparks fly from the back end of the Lando Norris chassis, and he keeps it pinned in 2nd. But hang on to your hats, folks, because here comes one of the youngest drivers, if not the youngest driver in the field, Jaden Thien from the Netherlands. The 337, and now Hunter goes for the lead through turn 10 on Gilbert, gets it. And now, keep your eyes on Thien. He's going to wait and see what happens. Brandon Carr now up into 4th position. Jaden Thien looking around the outside of Lewis Gilbert, going into turns 1 and 2, trying to get the undercut, can't get through. In the 337, this is going to allow Brandon Carr to try and close on in. And if Carl can get through into the high 55s, he's got a very, very good chance. And now Jayden Thien and Lewis Gilbert go side by side. Gilbert doesn't really resist that. He knows he's got to make it through. He doesn't want to have any dramas, any extensive repairs tonight, because that could really unsettle his preparation for tomorrow. Now Therese at the moment already up into 8th place and climbing the field. But one thing I know about the spirits and the resolve of one Lewis Gilbert, he will not give up. Now he's going to look up the inside through into turn 6. The switchback happens. And Jayden Thien. Matthew Higgins has just been hit with the 5-second time penalty for pushing. As Lewis Gilbert, there was a little bit of communication I just spotted there between Jayden Thien and Lewis Gilbert. And I think Jayden Thien does not want to go into battle yet as in against Gilbert, because he knows that that's going to be one of his chief rivals. But I think what he's trying to do is say to Lewis Gilbert, right, you go, drag me along for the ride, and let's go after the race leader. But now with Lewis Gilbert being nearly 9/10 of a second behind, with nearly 40% of the timer completed, never count people out like Lewis Gilbert. Jayden Thien, Brandon Carr impressing in this race. He's now currently in 4th position. 5th, it is Reese Hunter, the elder sibling of the race leader by just 2 years. So Kai Hunter 19 years of age, Reese Hunter 21 years of age. But behind Matthew Higgins is Mads Rees. This could be a very interesting dynamic because the fireworks haven't really happened yet, folks. Nearly halfway through of this final senior Rotax heat here at Karting Genk. Nice move there by Mads Rees to get past Matthew Higgins. And that was for position. That's for 6th place on the road. With 4.5 minutes to go. As long as Kai Hunter finishes in the top 2, he'll be on pole position for the pre-final tomorrow morning. Or tomorrow early afternoon at 12:20. Mads Rees now looks for the move up the inside of Reese Hunter. And gets through for position. So that is 5th place for Mads Rees. Well, some of you might know about a very famous Danish driver, normally in sports cars, Nicky Thiem. Well, we've got our own version, only he hasn't got long blonde hair, but he's pretty rapid when he's on his A game. That is Mads Rees. He's now up into 5th position. There's still time for him to get through past the other drivers in front. But even if, well, all I'm going to say is, I did say nothing's over because Matthew Higgins up the inside of Reese Hunter. Lewis Gilbert, in the meantime, has put in the fastest lap of the race, and he's got that gap down to 0.4 of a second. You know what this will mean? If anyone might remember the Euro Trophy Round 3 this year, where we had the closest ranking after the heats, could we be in for the same thing here today at the Golden Trophy? Now that would be a mouth-watering appetite, wouldn't it? So looking at the qualifying side of things, look at it this way. If Kai Hunter finishes third in this race, he will have been 2 places ahead of Sean Butcher in the overall qualification. Now Brandon Carr has got Mads Rees closing in, and Mads Rees has just put in the fastest lap of the race, 54.859, beating Lewis Gilbert's fastest lap by nearly a tenth and a half. And now he goes for the move, gets up the inside of Brandon Carr. So Mads Rees looking very, very racy right now as we head into the dying stages of this 6th and final senior Rotax heat. "90 seconds on the timer remains. And it's still getting very, very close indeed. I mean, Mads Rees at the moment was quicker than the 3 in front, but not enough to make a significant indent onto that 1 second gap between himself and Jaden Thiem in 3rd position. So 50 seconds to go. There's going to be 2 more laps to go after this one. Lewis Gilbert did close the gap by nearly half earlier on, but he's been at a stalemate. He'll be finishing 2nd place in all 3 of his heats so far today, which will put him at the sharper end of the ranking after heats as the timer counts down. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Timer hits 0. Final lap board out this time. And Kai Hunter on the cusp of a clean sweep in the heats. There's a little bit of action a bit further behind. That was Andrej Petrovic getting past, I think, Reese Hunter, and that was the case as the last lap is underway. Reese Hunter trying to put one over on Andrej Petrovic, who has had his dramas. Oh, nearly a touch of sidewalls there. And Petrovic looks to his right-hand side. Oh, there's a big touch. Big touch between the two. That was a 540 for Andrej Petrovic right there, because he immediately looked to his right and saw Reese Hunter and did not expect it. But it's going to be one driver that's going to be at the top of the pile. It's going to be Kai Hunter. 3 for 3 for the 19-year-old from Sunderland. And he goes provisionally into the ranking after the heats. Top of the pops, if you will. A great job by him. Lewis Gilbert will be at the sharp end. Mark my words, with 3 second-place finishes. And also, so will Sean Butcher with 2 wins and a 3rd. So 29 out of the 30 drivers making it to the checkered flag. So the drivers making their way into the pits, into scrutineering post-session checks. Kai Hunter takes his 3rd successive victory and provisionally will be at the sharp end on pole position for the pre-final at 12 tomorrow afternoon. Lewis Gilbert keeps himself in contention for the Golden Trophy crown this year in second, ahead of Jaden Thien. Mads Rees managing to finish fourth in that one, ahead of Matthew Higgins, who will have a 5-second penalty for pushing added to his race time. Brandon Carr ahead of Reese Hunter, who had a clash with Andrej Petrovic, who ended up 17th. Zsombor Kovac, Jan Bouvier, Rafael Renhofer, Jens van der Heijden, Gustav Jonsson, Teddy Clinton, Aditya Kulkarni, Liam Hezemans, Jamie Perrelli, Andrej Petrovic, Jani Niemi, Mats Johan Overholt, Samuel Ifrid running at the top 20. Henry Beaumont, Daniel Mualem, Maximilian Schreier, Arnold Domingo, Patrick Scholhammer Rasmussen, Matteo Richter, Matthias Krohn, Ralf van der Pevert, Curtis Latimer, and Igor Kitchen, unfortunately retiring on the opening lap. So we're going to have a look back at the highlights, the replay of this race. So it's Lewis Gilbert versus Zsombor Kovac on the front row. Kai Hunter eager to get on with things with brother Reese alongside to his immediate left. And the drivers headed into the tram lines as the revs rised and the lights went out to signal for everyone to go racing. Fanning out nearly as far as 4 wide, heading into turns 1 and 2, but it was Lewis Gilbert that led the field away. Zsombor Kovac would end up losing up second position, but then this was the first of 2 big incidents, which was Igor Kirchin in the 860, backwards into the barriers off of turn 6, but walked away. Then Kai Hunter decided to stamp his authority on the race, but Lewis Gilbert said otherwise. And then it was sideways, sparks flying as he launched the back axle into the air to the 19-year-old from Sunderland. Jaden Thien also got into the action, getting second away from Lewis Gilbert, who then managed to keep in front. And then there was the sign from Jaden Thien saying, right, let's just see what we can do, and taps the left-hand side of his race helmet. Mads Rees, once again, was on the move. The Dane train in full effect, getting past Matthew Higgins, who would incur the wrath of race control by having a 5-second time penalty for pushing. Brandon Carr would also lose out to Mads Rees. And then Martin Gaiskens. Well, that was Andrej Petrovic. So the first little touch between him and Reese Hunter. And then this moment was the biggest one of the night. Back axle up in the air for Reese Hunter whilst clashing. Andrej Petrovic, pretty much unsighted, didn't see that Hunter was there, and he was backwards off of turn number 7. Hopefully his coccyx is okay after that. But 3 for 3 for Kai Hunter puts him on provisional pole for the pre-final tomorrow.